It's round 19 in the NRL. Manly take on Illawarra. They're down, but not out yet. But the Sea Eagles know they can't afford to lose another one.
Menzies for the line. Menzies got a double, and Manly are in right on half-time.
The Steelers matched the Broncos for over 70 minutes last week, but came away without the points. This time, they plan to go on with the job.
Away they go, the Steelers. One of their favourite sons scores it.
Can the Steelers turn up the heat away from home? Or will the Sea Eagles spread their wings?
The Gavin Field will score a try.
And here is the lineup. There are the changes. Simon in 14 coming in for McGregor, and 21 Wayne Clifford coming in for Britain. And the coach is Andrew Farrer. Rod Wishart, another one of the experienced campaigners.
Yeah, heavy bandage to the head there, copped it last week, but it's been an uncomfortable season all round for that man who's worn the Test jersey 17 times. Injuries have really given him problems throughout the year, but he's not the most talkative player in the paddock. But with McGregor's withdrawal, it added a lot of responsibility in that department to his shoulders this afternoon.
Turvey leads Manly out. They're happy to be home, where they've won 6 from 9 this season. They had won 3 in a row before losing 22-12 to Melbourne last week. So have a look at the changes here. Hancock will play fullback, which means Phillips moves to 5'8". Field will play halfback. In the front row, Jim Sedaris will be prop, and Jeff Tuvey, the captain, is the hooker wearing number 7. The coach is Bob Fulton. And Steve Menzies, their top try scorer, 10 so far this year.
Well, he's maintained good form throughout the season, despite the Sea Eagles' wobbly run. And although Manly's defence has been brittle at times, this giant has continued his powerful charges into the gaps. And in fact, only Darren Lockyer and Steve Renouf have come up with more breaks.
Yes, one of the top line breakers in 98. The referee is Sean Hempstead, and the video referee today is John Gosher. They haven't won at Brookvale since 1992. Illawarra, they kick off. Can they turn that worrying statistic around? And this is Daniel Gartner, first touch of the ball. In fact, Illawarra have only had 1 win here in 13 visits. History is against them, but that's all in the past. Let's get to the present. And here it is, the 30-metre mark for Manly and sideline today. There's Peter Mulholland. Pete, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I tend to agree with the both of you boys upstairs. I think Manly today might be a little bit too strong. The changes that Fulton made are positional changes that you alluded to, Gregory, and I think they're very, very wise changes with Tuvey and dummy half. Phillips at the 5'8" position to take the ball on a little bit more, whereas the Illawarra side have been made or forced to make those changes. They'll miss McGregor, and I think Manly may get away with it.
This is a good opening set of 6. Patton picks it up only a couple of metres out from his own line. Manly starting the round in 14th spot, 4 points adrift of the 10th place team, Canterbury, and they're trying to pin Illawarra down inside their own 10 metres. Good opening by the Sea Eagles, Wally.
It is exactly what Bob Fulton was looking for, but it's very important they don't turn over penalties here. That's where they've had a real problem with the referees so far this year in their discipline.
So it's the Steelers 22 metres out from their own line. Lightfall played it. The big men trying to get out of the danger area. Back it goes to Barrett. 13 tries so far this season for Trent Barrett. Hancock, the fullback, even though he's wearing number 2. He hands it off to Albert Torrens, who signed for the Adelaide Rams in 1999. Menzies. Great run by Menzies. It'll be Menzies and Gartner and Kosef, the back 3 in the Manly pack, that will cause a lot of problems for Illawarra. First penalty of the match goes to Manly, right on halfway.
With the Manly boys upset a little bit that the referee didn't take more action. Well, they're getting a bit carried away there so early in the match. I really don't believe it was something that was going to have a try on the other end, whether you actually got up and played it a little bit quicker. But a very enterprising start from the Sea Eagles, exactly what they wanted. Bob Fulton reminded his players that they play very well against the Steelers here at the stadium, but they can't let those sort of reports rely on getting them home.
Now it's Gartner. He's only 10 metres out. This is great field position for the Manly Sea Eagles. Kosef gives it to Kalala. Inside the 10-metre zone, right in front of the uprights. Tuvey, he goes to the left. And it's Phillips, throws the dummy, tries to burrow his way under a couple of Illawarra defenders. Can't find a way through, though. Field gives it to Kosef. He runs onto it. Kosef out to Sidaris running in the backs. Turns it back on the inside now to Alf Duncan. And Duncan will be knocked over. Good defence by Illawarra. They're under a stack of pressure. At dummy half, it's Tuvey out to field. Gives it to Hancock. He offloads out wide. It is Menzies trying to step through. Barrett has him though. That's the 10-metre mark. Hopewadi playing his 100th game for Manly today at dummy half to field. He goes to the air. Bit of pressure coming here for Wishart. It's lying loose on the ground. It's being claimed by Manly, but they've knocked it on. It's no try. Illawarra survive. But gee, it was anybody's ball there for a moment, Wally.
They put all the pressure firmly on the Steelers' shoulders. I thought Manly may have erred a little bit in two previous rucks. They had the opportunity to feed Terry Hill, who was steaming onto the football. I think it was the choice made by Nick Kosef to play a second man. It wasn't the right one.
Now this is Mackay, captain today in the absence of McGregor. Not much between these two sides. Manly have scored 60 and conceded 68. And Illawarra have scored 64, conceding 66. As far as tries go, now the kick comes in from Illawarra. Perfectly positioned at the back is Craig Hancock. 167th match. They've got plenty of experience, Manly, right across the park, but it hasn't been their year so far. Terry Hill, New South Wales representative in the state of origin. Kosef gives it out to Gardner. He knocks it on. And this is a good opportunity now for Illawarra to mount some pressure. Callaway got it away to Craig Simon. And he's about 32 metres out from the line. This is the front rower, Andrew Hart.
Greg, some problems for Illawarra already. Sean Timmins has gone off. Young Hooper's on to replace him, carrying a shoulder injury. So that could be 2 strike centres down.
That is bad news. Likeville plays it. Robinson shows it. Gives it out to Barrett. And Barrett thought he spotted an opening. Good defence by Menzies, though, and also Field. 10 metres out. The Illawarra Steelers looking for first points, and Mackay puts the head down, charges into 3 Manly defenders. There's no way through there. 0-0 to score at Brookvale. Callaway clears it to Robinson. Gets it out wide. There's the kick from Wilson. And it's perfectly weighted in the end.
Wisely out, but that is what causes success or failure. Communication. We'll make sure that they've got plenty of that on the paddock today.
So perfect field position again to start this set of 6 for the Illawarra Steelers. They're in centre field. Now it's Mackay. He finds Lamey. Lamey gives it back to Mackay to Robinson. Allowed to move. Robinson links up on the outside with Hart. Hart turns it back on the inside to the support, and they play it about 8 metres out now. Robinson to Barrett, playing it with the ball in both hands, and now there's an uncharacteristic mistake from Brad Mackay. He's knocked it on, just as they look like they might be able to do something on this left-hand side.
Yeah, I think he was planning his moves before he actually caught the ball there, Brad. They looked to have the numbers heavily weighted in their favour. It looked they had 5 or 6 players up against 3 Manly defenders. But both teams losing golden opportunities in the first 10 minutes of this match.
Field feeds the scrum. Now it's Terry Hill. Terry Hill playing his 100th game for Manly today. We'll be looking for double celebrations, a century, and hopefully 2 competition points for him. The Steelers will have some say in that matter. Now it's Kosef working the short side. Has to take the tackle, though. Good tackle, too, from Barrett, ball and all. Sidaris playing front row, but prop today, Peter Mulholland, instead of hooker.
Yeah, actually, it's a pretty good move. He's got a great quick play of the ball. The ground's not all that heavy out there, Greg. It's just very, very slippery. And Sidaris gets a great play of the ball on.
Now it's Field. Looking for open spaces and finding it. Sends Luke Patton back into the in goal. He's touched it, he's played at it, and he's got a bit of work to do to get out of there. Can't do it. Good chase by Manly. Well, he really didn't have to play at that one, Wally. I thought it was going to roll over the dead ball line, but again, didn't appear to be too much communication.
No, one of his wingers was probably only standing around about 10, 12 metres away. Didn't get the choice of being able to pick it up or not. But a very good kick. We've got to pay credit to that. Supremely weighted. There's a couple of them that have gone in there. Now the pressure right back on the Steelers. Manly getting a chance to be able to play something constructive. Just look for a play. Menzies and Kosef, they're the real strike players for Manly at the moment.
Brad Mackay, the drop kick. Gardner takes it. Makes it to the 30 before he beats the Illawarra defensive line. Centre field. Tuvey at dummy half. Kalala picks up an easy 10 metres into the red zone now. Field. Oh, well, he went without it that time. Kosef was way ahead of himself, looking to pass before he actually claimed the football. Penalty goes to Illawarra.
Second man in, you came in with a hand.
Second man in came in and stole the football. That's the call from Sean Hempstead.
A simple turnover from Kosef. Maybe he heard me giving him a rap seconds before it.
That's the halfway mark. Chris Likeveld will play it there. Callaway at dummy half. The postman player Fitzgibbon is on there. No, it's not. It's Cram in 19. Illawarra 32 metres out. Likeveld, another hit up in this set. Callaway, Robinson fires it out to Wilson. Wilson with the kick, turning Hancock around. He needs a good bounce, and it's going to beat everybody. Over the dead ball line, so we'll come back to the 20-metre mark for a restart. It's still 0-0, coming up to 10.5 minutes in the first half. Albert Torrens. Well, there's a little knock-on in there. Torrens not too happy about the decision, but this will give the Steelers the feed into the scrum.
Well,
the fourth error by Manly.
Make your own judgment on that one. There did look to be a red jersey, and they're giving it a little bit of a tip along, but you're going to get those in every tackle. Steelers on the front foot.
Notice then that Sedaris is hooking come scrum time. Patton up from fullback. Taken by Field. This is Craig Simon. Illawarra searching for first points. Robinson to Barrett, over to Wishart. Wearing a headband today. Switch of play, and Likeveld has made an absolute mess of that one. An easy turnover to the Sea Eagles, and Kalala runs it out over the 30-metre mark.
Well, that was one of the worst ones you'd see. As a matter of fact, even put his foot to it to kick it a little bit closer to the Manly players. It's given Manly now a golden opportunity now.
And the Centurion, John Hopowato. Inside Illawarra territory. That was a great run. Menzies out wide, showing it, playing it in both hands. Hill at dummy half. Sedaris. Ran into three Illawarra defenders. And Field. Switch of play. Picks up Hancock from fullback. He's left it behind. Knock on both ways. The scrum will pack down. 30 out from the Illawarra line.
You know, Wally, wouldn't you be looking at all angles in this wet weather out here today too? I mean, switch of plays have been good, but that pass was just a mile too hard. Have a look at here coming onto it. He had no hope of taking that under pressure.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be too long before we see the coaches give instructions. They know that their players are pretty good once they get to the other end of the football field. Their desperation. I think we'll find that the forwards will start playing a more important role. They'll just keep rolling from one side of the field to the other, making sure they don't turn over possession and getting a good kick and chase game going.
This is Jason Hooper in 18. Late call up into the squad. Robinson, 10 from halfway. Possession, not much in that. Manly leading with 51%. They're inside Manly territory now. Cram fires it out now to Wilson. Final tackle coming up for the Steelers. Callaway at dummy half, and Barrett runs to the defensive line before getting the kick in, and Hancock takes it right on his own try line, and he's been forced into touch, or in goal in fact, by Wishart. Well, there's a good chase by Wishart. He lined Hancock up, and he's not feeling too good back in the in goal.
Oh, why would you? Gee, you got a great shot at him. He's one of the hardest blokes in rugby league, Wishart. He's not a terribly big man, but as they described him, the boy from the bush, he's got plenty of barge and bash about him. The skill and style comes with it as well, but gee, and Hancock, probably the poorest thing about the whole lot is that he didn't know what was happening. He had an open pair of ribs there, and they made contact.
This is Andrew Hart, who's been on the interchange bench for a rest. Back out there to take on the Manly pack. Callaway trying to steal some metres from dummy half. Here's Robinson. Needs someone to run onto it. Gets it out to Barrett. Barrett brings Patton in from fullback, and it goes over to Hooper. Good tackle. Cherry Hill around the bootlaces. Clifford at dummy half. Mackay can't find a way through. 0-0 the score here. Robinson, the double round, and he fires it out to Simon. Simon into space through the gap, and the Illawarra Steelers have got first points. Craig Simon puts it down between the posts. 4-0 Illawarra over Manly.
Well, that coming against the run of play throughout the game. It's pretty clever work here. It's a great ball. Simple run around play, holding the defence up. Robinson took it towards the defence a little bit and created doubt in the minds of the defenders and shot an absolute bullet out. Run onto by Craig Simon, and he hit that ball perfectly. Concentration, aimed where he was running, never took his eyes off the ball. That is a good football try, running past Craig Hancock, who I still don't think is fully fit after that absolute gem from Wishart.
Yeah, I think the two, Luke Phillips and Steve Menzies, got mixed up just on that little double pump from Will Robinson then. Both collided with each other. It was a great ball, but Wally, that was the result of a very, very good kick from young Barrett before that put Hancock under pressure, and they got the second set of 6 at him.
Wishart, only 54% success rate with his goal kicking this year, but he doesn't miss them from in front. So 6-0, the Steelers over Manly. Great start.
That they needed all those wet conditions. Sparks don't always light.
The restart by Manly. Both of these sides had strung together 3 wins in a row before losing last week. Manly lost to Melbourne. The Steelers lost to Brisbane. Looking to get back on the winning track here today. That's the 30-metre mark. Manly. The defence holding around the ruck. Callaway fires it out to Mackay. He plays it. Final tackle coming up. There's a kick from Barrett. And Hancock will watch it. Run into touch about 5 metres out from the corner flag. The scrum will pack down.
It was interesting too, Andrew Farrell's used about 7 interchanges so far. That was Bobby Fulton's first one now with Damien Brown on for Daniel Gardner.
So it's the Sea Eagles down by 6 and inside their own 20. Torrens will play it. First touch of the ball for Brown. Looking for a bit of go forward from the big man for the short side, and Kosef takes them on. Good tackle Robinson underneath, and over the top it was Barrett. Oh, there's a rare mistake. Turvey has knocked it on. Well, slippery conditions out there, and Manly paying the penalty. That's their 5th error compared to Illawarra's 2nd. Now it's 6 errors for Manly, in fact.
Gee, you can put a price on that one. Very rarely do you see Turvey coming up with the mistakes in the game. Probably inspire him to make about 24 more tackles in this half, though.
Illawarra, right field position. Wishart. Went into Turvey and also Kosef. Andrew Hart gives it back to Robinson to Barrett. Stringing some passes together. This is Patton up from fullback. Robinson a dummy half. Switch of play down the blind side. They go through Scott Cran. 17. Andrew Purcell. So more pressure on Manly, but gee, they've let them off the hook. Illawarra. He spotted a little knock on in there. So Peter Mulholland, those conditions obviously very, very slippery out there.
Yeah, it continues to rain. It's just drizzling out there, which is more of a nuisance than anything else. I think they'd rather have it a bit muddier. Sean Timmins is just making a comeback now too. His shoulder, obviously, he's had a little bit of work done on it. And Adam Peters is warming up on the sideline for Manly. So Bose is starting to make some of those interchanges as well now.
Field puts it in and takes it out. Runs to the blind side. Can't get away from Robinson. Has been impressive so far, the number 7 for Illawarra. Alf Duncan plays it down. The blind side goes big Damien Brown. That's what they need. A little bit of go forward. Turvey calling for a quick play the ball. Kosev a hit up by the lock forward. Still 10 from halfway though. Halfway through the first half. Here's Hopewati. Final tackle coming up. Turvey looking for Field. Finds him. He'll have to hurry to get the kick in. And Clifford is perfectly positioned. 15 out from his own line. Taken by Field, and also in there was Peters. This is Sean Timmins. Purcell at dummy half. Wishart. Working the blind side through Timmins. Hart. Now it's the final tackle for the Steelers. Barrett finds Alf Duncan. And he'll play at 25 metres out. Well, we've become accustomed to seeing Manly come up with plenty of line breaks, but just 2 for them today so far in this match. And this man is their best line breaker, Menzies, but he's been well controlled, Wally.
He has. He's still trying it. He's the best for Manly at the moment. Not only been in their best in attack so far, in defence he's been pretty good as well. A couple of times, though, I think that they've been lucky not to get penalties against them, Illawarra, because Menzies has really been trying to chase down the kick. Has been held back on 2 or 3 occasions.
Final tackle now, Field. Sending Wishart back towards his own try line. Taken by Menzies. Over the top, Sidaris.
Well, that's probably Manly's best set of 6, with a kick on the end of it and a good chase on it. And all came from just going forward.
Illawarra. Patton plays it. This is Timmins. Picked up about 10 metres from dummy half. The mousetrap move at dummy half. Most teams are pretty well clued up about that one nowadays, though. Lightvold back out there. Purcell. Got a short ball to Barrett. He got it away to the try scorer, Simon. Craig Simon can't get past the fullback in Craig Hancock. But the gap open up again there. Final tackle coming up. That's a shocking pass from dummy half. And Barrett had to go back and retrieve it. Puts it in the air now. They try the handball over the top. It doesn't come off. Manly have it. That's a changeover. 0 tackle. Phillips plays it.
Well, I think they took the right thing. I'll tell you what, who he had as much trouble sidestepping as much as anybody else there was a referee. He had 2 or 3 turns of trying to go a different direction for him. A little bit disturbing there for Manly. That's a couple of breaks starting to appear up the middle of the ruck.
Field goes wide through Sidaris. Good defence by Robinson. 30-metre mark. Manly still searching for their first points. Gardner plays it. This is Peters. Brad Mackay seems to be in a spot of bother. He's protecting the forearm. Clifford. 5 out from his own line, makes it to the 10-metre mark. Now Mackay will move to the sideline. Purcell, a dummy half. Great break again. Poor defence by Field. And the Illawarra Steelers through Sean Timmins. Got it back to Clifford. He's taken by Duncan. Some holes opening up now in the Manly defensive line. This will be a penalty. Terry Hill, and he's been given 10 minutes for a professional foul.
The referee calling that he wasn't square in the ruck. The replay will give us a fair indication of actually whether he was. Yeah, very rarely you do see... there it was there. We saw the break made. Craig Field was the guy that fell off it, but he got a call from one of the touch judges, I think it was, to stay out of it. He was offside. Wasn't sure what he was going to be able to do. The decision made. And here he is. He's standing smack in front of him there. Made the choice to go around. Play the ball was pretty quick.
So Manly are down to 12 men for the next 10 minutes. This is Purcell. Crowd thought it might have been a knock on. It came off his legs, according to the referee. They're only about 5 metres out. The Steelers, they lead by 6-0. They turn it back on the inside. Lightball getting very close. Tackled by Colella, 1 metre out. They go to the open. Purcell gives it to Timmins. He can't find a way through. Final tackle coming up now. The Steelers, will they go to the air? It goes out to Barrett. No, they put it through the hands, and now the kick comes from Wilson into the in goal. It's going to beat everybody over the dead ball line. Back to the 20 for a restart.
Well, the pressure off Manly's shoulders at the moment. It'll be interesting to see just how the Illawarra Steelers mount their attack from now on. Terry Hill is regarded as probably one of the best defensive centres in the competition. Oh, here it is, turned over on the first tackle before they've had one. Bozo will be ripping the strands out at the moment. They didn't require that.
Yet another error by Manly, their own worst enemy at the moment.
Just go, Ricky. Right, come over and talk to the players. On the 4th and 5th tackle, you can't have like team to play the ball. Cut the
26 and a half minutes gone.
Cut here, block. I don't want to see any markers, right? You don't want a penalty with the ball. I'm telling you, fellas, right?
Just a warning on the run for the Illawarra Steelers from the referee Sean Hempstead.
I think they're just standing in the ruck in that 5th tackle, and he's just saying they're running an obstruction for the kicker and so forth. Brad Mackay's just having his thumb checked too. It doesn't look too healthy.
Well, that's the Steelers getting another crack at this Manly defence, and the try scorer Simon is taken by Phillips. Now it's Barrett giving it out to Fitzgibbon, who's on there from the interchange bench, 10 metres out from the Manly line. Manly a man down. Terry Hill in the sin bin for 10. Lightvold. Robinson. Timmins straight ahead. Couple of metres out. Front of the upright. Now it's Barrett. And can they control it? No, they've knocked it on. It was Jason Hooper. And Duncan is able to run it back into the field of play. So if he had to control that pass, it could have been on.
Yeah, two things. If he had to control it, they would have scored. And if they hadn't gone to the right-hand side of the field, they would have scored. They had around about a 20-metre advantage, their last attacker, to where Manly's defender was.
And now it's Gartner very slow to get to his feet. 11 metres out. Tuvey. Just a little skirt out of dummy half. We haven't seen much running from dummy half for Tuvey, probably because of the completion rate. They haven't been able to stitch any momentum together. Another turnover here. That time it was Kosef that lost it, and Clifford has it for Illawarra. So the Steelers, they've had plenty of time inside Manly territory. This is Lightvold. The completion rate, well, it's 5 out of 13 for Manly, and they've paid the penalty. A dummy! That's a great dummy by Illawarra, and they come up with another 4-pointer. Open them right up. Well, he wants to have another look at it here. It was the break from Wilson. They fell for the dummy, and he found Patton right on his hip. Did he get it down? Was it a legitimate try? We'll have a look.
Bloke that might be feeling too good at the moment is Nick Kosef. The drop balls come up, giving them an opportunity. He came up here, took the dummy, went to the wrong man. There's too much wrong with that. I think he was probably trying to just get little bit of confirmation that they found that the last pass was not forward, or blatantly forward.
Craig Fitzgibbon with a conversion attempt, and not Wishart. The flags go up. That's a handy lead now to the Illawarra Steelers. They lead by 12 points to 0 over Manly.
I think you're right, Wally. I think Adam Peters might have thought it was touch out here. Just put off. I mean, Kosef did go for the wrong man, but that tackle should have been finished well and surely before then.
Well, Peters actually put both hands on his back.
Yeah, tag.
Right, fellas, stay on the kicker while he kicks it.
You're even taught, weren't you, Wally, that you teach a player to just finish him off at any rate. If you're in that position, you finish him off so he can't support.
Well, it's the Illawarra Steelers. 10 minutes to go in the first half. Possession going the Steelers' way, 62%. This is Fitzgibbon. Time in their own half. Manly, 68% down in their 50. Fulton will not be happy with that. And really, Manly need to be the next team to score. Get back into this ball game. Get back on song. 10 from halfway. It's the Steelers picking up some good meters again. That's Callaway. Needed support. It arrived too late. Kalala collared him, threw him into the turf. Final tackle coming up. Gee, there are some gaps in this Manly defence. We know that they're down to 12 with Hill in the sin bin, but they need to tighten things up. That relieves a bit of pressure. That kick going dead. They'll bring it back to the 20. Jimmy Sidaris on the sideline, ready to go back on to bolster the ranks.
Greg, the break that was made there, Manly had both markers standing up. It was just a case of overreading it or not concentrating. Again, their communication between the two markers looks to be abysmal.
Here's Kalala, 10 from halfway. Turvey gives it to Kosef. That's over the halfway line. Or it was Gartner, in fact. Now it's Sidaris. He's had a breather on the bench. Manly will need to call on their experienced players now to get something happening out there. Kalala plays it. Turvey to Field. Field kicking. Big chase by Duncan. Patton leaves it behind. Duncan's got it. And that is a try to the Manly Sea Eagles. Alf Duncan motoring down the right wing. Patton made the mistake, and it was claimed by Duncan. So they're on the board at long last. It's 12-4, Illawarra over Manly.
Well, they've hit back in the way that they needed to. A very well-weighted kick. Didn't look to be a lot of desperation in the minds of the Illawarra players. One probably thinking to the other, gee, I hope you get to it before I do. That really is superbly weighted. A little pitching wedge over the top. More like Royal Birkdale. Ball being shifted wide. But that really is a great kick. Something that they needed. Fortune, if it wasn't on their side then, it was going to be a long afternoon for them. And I've got to bring up a point. There was the second ruck, I think it was. Here it is. As he gets to his feet, just watch this. Well, I was pretty sure he dropped the ball as he... Well, there you go. He's knocked it on as he's got to his feet. That was the second ruck in that set of 6. He took the ball up. 3 tackles later, they score a try.
Well, now it's Phillips. 63%. From out wide, trying to bring it round. It's off the uprights. He can't add the extras. So it's Illawarra leading 12 points to 4. A little bit of luck in that play the ball area for Manly. But there's much urgency from Wayne Clifford, the winger, right?
No, he
saw Patton coming across and he probably thought, well, he's got it covered. So Illawarra kick off. Hancock gives it out to Gartner. That's the 20-metre mark. Kalala. Some replacements running on or warming up. So Cliffy Lyons is on there.
Really, you know, I'm not sure about Lyons at this stage. I mean, far be it from me to talk about Bozo, but you really need to get a go forward going, not worry about ball playing at this stage.
Well, they're going to have pretty good field position to mount another attack here. The penalty goes to Manly. Terry Hill still on the sideline in the sin bin. So they've done pretty well, Manly, to score a try with a man in the bin. 35 metres out from the Illawarra line. Gartner runs to the Steelers' defence. Tooney waits for a dummy half. Craig Field gives it to Kalala. Taken by Brad Mackay. The thumb seems to be okay. Running to the line is Kosef. He turns it back on the inside to Terry Hill, who's back. So they have a full complement of 13. Penalty. Penalty to Manly. Holding down.
I think he milked that one pretty well too.
Well, they want the quick tap. Lyons. The inside pass to Hopoate. He ran straight into Craig Fitzgibbon. Turvey, Menzies. No way through there for Stephen Menzies. Kosef takes them on. Good defence again by Mackay. In front of the sticks, they go to the left and Field trying to dance his way through. Got it back to Tuvey. Tuvey trying to link up. Throws a dummy, takes the tackle. Still a couple of tackles remaining. Sidaris at dummy half to Field. Field spotted an opening. Field getting very close. Try-saving tackle again from Brad Mackay. Final tackle coming up now. They go to Lyons. He puts it on the toe into the in goal. And they trap them in there. Wishart couldn't do much about that one. So we'll have the goalmouth drop out. And there's time for Manly to have another crack at them.
Yeah, well done from Cliffy Lyons. There wasn't a real big gap there to kick that ball between. But you've got to pay a fair bit of credit in that set of 6 to Craig Field. Not only was he drawing players and putting them into holes, his support players, but his running really allowed his team to get on the front foot. They were quick play the balls he came up with. Illawarra taking as much time as they possibly can now, and that's pretty much common sense from them. They've got to take a little bit of the wind out of the Manly sails.
It's a restart. And Gardner charges onto it. And the Steelers hold out the Sea Eagles in this set of 6. Kalala, the short side. Good strong run by the front rower. This is Gardner. He's on his own. Put the head down, charged into 3 of them. Tuvey to Field. Lyons holding it up. Long ball, and they put it down. Terry Hill just couldn't control the pass out wide. So they come up empty-handed in that set.
It's a pretty good planned move there. Cliffy putting it in front of Terry, but I think he's forgotten that he's been wounded about the last 6 weeks, and he just hasn't got the pace that he had last year. But it was a well-wanted move, very well planned, and that's exactly what's required to stretch the Steelers' defence, which really is looking very thin at the moment out around about the inside centre mark.
Timmins, about 12 metres out from his own line. They need a good set of 6 here, the Steelers. This is Fitzgibbon. Wishart. Good run by Wishart. Working it to the halfway line to centre field, but they've knocked it on. There was no need to push the pass there. They're leading 12-4. And they pushed the pass, paid the penalty, and now it's Manly. They'll get one more set of 6.
Your description was enough there, Greg. They'd made 30-35 metres and 3 tackles.
The Sea Eagles. They've got a sniff of another try here. Cliffy Lyons, Cliff playing his 306th match in first grade today. Now it's Kalala. Got a pass out to Gardner. It was tackled by Robinson, though. Also Kellaway. Here's Craig Field. Kosef. Kosef, he may have taken a bit of a dive there, trying to save a penalty because it looked like it might be an obstruction at one stage. Inside pass, Menzies. Menzies just trailing Cliffy Lyons. Haven't we seen a lot of that over the past seasons. Now Manly cough up the football. Cliff wasn't too happy about it. Errors, 10 to Manly, 5 to Illawarra. Timmins, 20 from halfway.
I can understand why. There was about 3 knock-ons in there from both teams. A little bit of justice, though. I think Illawarra have been given a chance now to work it away. They've got to come up with probably one more ruck, not take any chances and simply get a clearing kick in.
Here's Scott Cram. Penalty to Manly. So Illawarra give Manly another sniff of a try just before half-time. Seconds ticking away. They need a quick tap. Sedaris. Well, now they might have a shot at goal.
Too quick, that was his trouble, and he wasn't straight.
Brad Mackay just asking the question. He's entitled to do that as captain of Illawarra.
A bit more difficult than usual, but it will bring it back to a converted try difference.
It's not going to have the legs. And Illawarra, all they need to do is control it, take the tackle. That is the end of the first 40 here. So it is Illawarra leading by 12 points to 4. Phillips shaking the head. Couldn't get the distance with the penalty attempt.
Manly will finish with a wet sail, should I say. Good one here. Very interesting for a very interesting second 40-minute period.
It's Manly kicking off. They've played 26 times since 1982, these two sides. Manly have won 18 and drawn 2. So Illawarra don't have a great record against them. But so far, so good here today. In the rain. We'll get the reaction from the respective coaching panels very shortly. This is Mackay, 30-metre mark. Kellaway at dummy half. Now it's Scott Cram, 15 from halfway. It's a second rower, Wilson. He featured strongly in the first half too, Wilson. Now Phillips is back at fullback, so they've rearranged things again. The Manly side. He started at 5'8". Hopewadi hasn't seen too many attacking opportunities, Big John. That's the halfway mark. This is Kallela. Inside Illawarra territory. Now it's Field. To Lyons. Menzies. Standing out wide, but there was no gap out there for him. Field under a bit of pressure. Got the kick in the end. Sends Clifford back to his own try line. Gives it to Patton, one of the try scorers in the first half. Great return of the football by Patton. Oh, the gap opened up. He needs support. He's got Barrett on the inside. He's going to back himself, though.
That's great work.
It was Phillips that stood his ground at fullback, and now it's Clifford going ahead. Manly still not back in the line, Wally, and now they've coughed it up. Illawarra have dropped the football.
Oh, bad luck. Sorry, mate, I was about to give Phillips a real pat on the back for that because he made the right decision. When the break was made, he had two options. Do I run in and try and tackle him now, or do I hang off? Once the bust was made, there was plenty of support. Here he is, he gets into the open. Now, one of the players runs on the inside. It's Trent Barrett that runs on the inside. Sedaris wasn't going to match him for speed. The decision was made, no, I can't do that. I'll simply allow him to run around me. The ensuing ruck was made, and the mistake come up with.
So Manly now have it, and this is Kosef. Well, Manly have it inside their own half. Let's get some reaction from the Illawarra camp, and Ian Millwood joins us. Ian, what did Andrew Farrar have to say at the break?
I was very pleased with Andrew Farrar at half-time, and indicative of our performance in the first half.
Well, now the gap opens up. This is Gardner. Needs support, holds up the football. We'll get back to you in a moment, Ian. I'm sure that wasn't in the half-time talk to have a gap open up like that. So we've seen a couple of big line breaks by both sides now. Sloppy pass, but it's going to be a good bounce for Field out wide. He turns, looks for support, has to take the tackle. Line breaks now. 6 to Illawarra, 3 to Manly. Lines back on the inside to Kosef, trying to step his way through. Final tackle coming up. Tuvey is in position for a kick this time. It's fielded dummy half. The skipper puts it through the hands though. Cliffy Lyons, they're going to run it. Menzies got a great ball out, and that's a try to Craig Hancock, who's playing on the left wing. Manly, a 4-pointer early in the second half. Maybe Illawarra was waiting for the kick. It didn't come. They put it through the hands, and it was Menzies that hit the gap and offloaded to Hancock. He had nobody in front of him. Great try, Manly. They're back in it.
Yeah, but it was the break that was made around about 30 seconds earlier that set everything up. Gardner running in, he saw that much space. I think he got lost in the end, didn't know what to do with it. Certainly inspired his teammates to go on. Here is the play, though, the one that comes up with the 4 points. Cliffy Lyons running, players hanging off him, and have a look at that. Well, I'm going to take off here. A one-handed offload really is the style that is the best point about that whole try. It's pleasurable to watch football games when guys are showing their skill like that.
It's great work too. I think Illawarra may have been waiting back for that Tuvey kick, and second pass to Lyons was just absolutely superb. From Lyons to Menzies. As you said, Menzies probably then, Wally, could have taken the slide over himself as well.
So it's Phillips. Brings it around, hooks it too far to the left, so he can't have the extras again. Phillips, just 4 points in it now. Illawarra 12, Manly 8. Worth another look, this one.
I think Illawarra had numbers there. They just didn't work hard enough off the ball. You watch Barrett probably left a little bit too late. The long pass certainly got them out there. Low tackle too from young Simon. He had to go low. That's the distance he had from him, and enabled Menzies to get, as well, he said, an absolutely superb one-hander away.
So it'll be a restart by Illawarra. Well, Ian Millwood from the Illawarra coaching staff. Sorry about that, Ian. We put the mocker on you. That wasn't part of the game plan, was it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Look, we were happy with the first half, and we just like to didn't start that way. It's a bit of a shock, that, but look, we just got to control things. We're leading here on the board, and continue what we were doing in the first half, and getting some yardage around the ruck area, and just all those little things that were good for us.
What do you like as far as injuries are concerned? The thumb injury to Brad Mackay, is it okay?
Well, Brad's back out there, and he's going to play with it. He seems to think he's okay, but Chris Lightfold's definitely going for the afternoon. I think he's got a grade 2 medial ligament, so he'll be out for a few weeks. So you've got one of your big men down, and it's going to make it a little bit harder in these trying conditions. But how are you feeling? Confident you can go on? Well, certainly, if we can repeat what we did in the first half there. I think there's a few Q things with the Manly, with Sedaris and a couple of them, if we can contain them and their offloads and that. And they looked a little bit off their game in the first half, Manly, so it's... we just let them back in there late with a few 3 penalties in a row and a couple little areas of discretion, but no, we're quite confident. Okay, well, thanks for joining us, Ian Millwood from the Illawarra Steelers. The gap now 4, and we're going to see Daniel Gardner come to the sideline. He's been pretty busy with 15 hit-ups and 14 tackles. Kosef comes on. Not a bad replacement, is it? Gardner off, Kosef on.
A bit of concern about the back of his neck early.
But now it's Illawarra with an opportunity to hit back. Barrett, who's been pretty well contained, finds Timmins out wide. Good tackle, Terry Hill. Cut him down from behind. Now it's Mackay. Leading by example today, Brad Mackay. Kellaway at dummy half. He gets it out to Craig Wilson. That wide leg heavily strapped. Good field position, though. 15 metres out. Robinson to Mackay. Dummies, Brad Mackay. Look at Tuvey. Great tackle by the captain for Manly. Timmins. A lack of communication there. There was no one running onto the ball. Final tackle coming up. They want it down the short side. The kick, the grubber kick, back there in the in goal. Diving on it is Peters. And so we're going to have a goalmouth dropout. Illawarra will get another crack at them. Craig Field wanting to restart the action. Kellaway hands it off immediately to Andrew Hart. Taken by Tuvey. '19 is Cram. Right in front of the uprights. And work it to the left through Barrett. Barrett finds Lamey running onto it. Good defence by Manly. Looking more solid so far in the second half on defence, Manly.
Robinson, Wilson trying to step through his opposite number, Menzies. Got it back to Robinson. He got it across to Timmins. From a standing start, he was easy pickings for the Manly Seagulls defence. They continue working it to the left, and here's Barrett firing it over to Mackay on the far side. Mackay takes the tackle from Terry Hill. It was a good one. They go to the air. Crossfield. Hancock is there and takes it. He took it on the full in goal, so they'll have a restart with a tap back on the 20-metre mark. And here goes Hancock now. The crowd appealing for a penalty, saying the Steelers went back their 10 metres. Now it's Tuvey to Menzies. Menzies got it back to Hopoate. Good tackle from Wishart. Possession 50-50. It's all square. Penalty to Manly. Well, Ian Millwood said that they cannot afford to keep giving away penalties, the Steelers. Here's another one.
They're the things that really destroy you, giving away field position by silly errors. That, and they've just had a golden opportunity to be able to post points. Manly successfully defusing a bomb. But just 30 or 40 seconds later, they're back down the other end of the field, themselves under pressure.
This is Peters. Is losing his footing about 37 metres out from the Illawarra line. Menzies. Centre field. Tuvey, a dummy half. A short pass from Kosef. Got it away to Sidaris. He broke a tackle. Tuvey went without it. Picked up by Field. Knocked back, play on. It's Kalala. They've got some numbers out to the left. Lyons runs to the line. Inside. Menzies. Try. Stephen Menzies. Manly's top try scorer. Always dangerous out wide. Always looking to run off the veteran Cliffy Lyons. How many times have we heard it in recent seasons? Lyons to Menzies try.
Well, we just pushed the button. A pretty good lead-up work as well from the Manly players. Quite good passage of play just previously. Jimmy Sidaris came up with a great break. The ball that went straight through Tuvey's hands. Smart play from Craig Field, who just kept the ball going. Lyons, here's the decision to make. Do I tip on or do I keep playing? No, I'll just take a player out. It was Dean Callaway, the guy that really got stuck with the job of trying to stop Steve Menzies. I tell you what, it looked a little bit easier than what it was. There's that huge bust up the middle from Sidaris, but Callaway looked to have Menzies pretty well covered. The strength of this giant, just too much.
Yeah, probably when you go low on him too, Wally, isn't it? It's easy for him to step out with those long legs, and I think you summed it up, Greg, as soon as you see Cliff Lyons in the open space, you look for Menzies, and 9 times out of 10 you'll find him.
Craig Field. Not having a great season with the boot, 53%. About 10 metres in from touch. Pushed it out to the right, so they haven't kicked a goal so far today, Manly. And it's locked up at 12 all, 3 tries to 2. And Peter Mulholland, Manly in the second half playing like a desperate team, a team that knows they cannot afford to drop another game if they want to make the semis.
That's exactly right, Greg. And the thing is, they're doing the little things right now. They've got to go forward going. Sidaris made that break on the fringe of the ruck. They've got a good go forward going. Lyons, I'd take my head off and put a pumpkin on. I mean, he is just still playing as well as he did 10 years ago. I think the thing is now that they've just got to continue in this vein, and they quite certainly can get the 2 points.
Take by Phillips. 10 out from his own line. What a ball game now. The Steelers trying to hit back. Tuvey. I haven't seen too much running from him. Wally, maybe now he'll come into his own. This is Lyons. The veteran, full of running though. And there it is, Menzies running off his hip yet again. Craig Field. Turning it back on the inside, Kosef. Kalala standing flat-footed. Starts to move now. May not be the biggest front rower going, but he's got plenty of heart, Anthony Kalala rather. Now they go through Kosef and wide. Stepping is Field. Field into the open. Back on the inside. It's been intercepted by Craig Fitzgibbon, though. He saved the day for Illawarra. But problems out there at the moment for the Steelers.
Well, very good work from Field, splitting him up the middle. You just get the feeling that he's going to start looking for that area. The penalty, though, coming up. stripping the ball. Nick Kosef call from the referee. This will ease a little bit of the burden on the shoulders of the Illawarra forwards. Just starting to get a little bit tired at the moment. The defence a little bit slow off the ground.
Oh, geez, I tell you what, well, that's a very ordinary call, I reckon.
I don't think he had control of that quite, but the referees always call it as they see it.
Very diplomatic, Mr. Lewis.
Craig Wilson taps it on the halfway. Simon runs straight into Hopewadi. Dean Callaway at dummy half. Here's Wilson charging into the Manly defensive line again. This is Purcell. Sidaris underneath. Menzies over the top. Robinson shows it on the inside, goes wide to Barrett. He throws the dummy. Tried to fend off Gartner, couldn't do so. Gartner did well to hold on there. Purcell. Dummies. Gives it back to Timmins. Timmins well and truly into the Manly red zone now. So the pressure back on the Manly defensive line. It is 12-all at Brookvale. The kick and the chase. But the chase is not a good one. Field. What's the call? He says he didn't touch it, so it's back to the 20.
Well, that was interesting. One touch judge said he didn't. The other one said he did. Manly on the hunt now. The big men leading by example. Terry Hill leading from the front.
Do you think the referee asked Craig Field if he touched this? He didn't touch that.
He didn't get it to him. Right call. Well done.
Good Catholic lad, Craig Field.
So that's the halfway mark. Menzies out wide again. Pops it up in the air. He was trying to link up with either Hopewadi or Craig Hancock. Didn't come off, though. The Steelers have it. And that could have been a dangerous situation for Illawarra as well. But they've got the football at the moment. And Wishart is at dummy half. Fitzgibbon inside Manly territory. Still plenty of time remaining here. Locked up at 12-all. And Wilson takes the tackle on the 40. Manly's end. Brad Mackay picks up 10 metres. Final tackle coming up. Robinson to the short side they go. Timmins gets the grubber kick in. Phillips has to clean up in goal and does well to return it into the field of play and stay inside that touchline. This is Torrens.
Gee, that's an important save. At first glance, I thought surely he's going to grab that. Once he hits the ground, he'll slide out over. Boy, he's put the brakes on. The handbrake coming into play.
Menzies charging through the gap. Every time he touches the ball, it's danger signs for Illawarra, and the crowd sense it as well. He's coming to his own in the second half, Menzies. Now it's Field, back to Cliffy Lyons. Across the ruck they go. Tuvey, just short of halfway. Line breaks, 8 to Manly, 6 to Illawarra. Manly have scored 3 tries to 2, but they haven't been able to add any extras with the boot. That's why it's locked up at 12-all. Field gets it back to Jim Sidaris. He kicks ahead. Was it played? Yes, it was played at by Illawarra, so the tackle count restarts. And that's a lucky break for Manly, really. But you create your own luck, and now it's Lyons at dummy half to the short side. Sidaris gives it to Hopewadi. Hopewadi for the try line, chased by Wishart. They won't get to him. What a try! His 100th match in first grade. He celebrates with a 4-pointer, but more importantly, Manly have hit the front for the first time in this match.
Gee, and when he got that football, he was determined to score the try. Coming to the short side, only 20 metres to play with. Outstanding ball again from the big fella. Put Hopewadi into a huge gap. And it really did look like a lot of the Illawarra players believed that he wasn't going to be the man that was going to take control. Great ball, though, from Sidaris.
Yeah, well, they had numbers there, didn't they? I mean, young Craig Simon was sucked in. He's come off his man, came in. And look, man, you've put Hopewadi away, and I mean, you know, he's just going to take that power and all over. But that started from a very, very poor fifth tackle option too, didn't it?
Yeah, it sure did. You know, I wasn't a little bit all that convinced by the referee's call that the Illawarra player actually played at the ball, but then again, the ref's a lot closer. He obviously saw something, but Manly, I suppose, have got a big decision to make. Do they continue with this sort of play that's been so electrifying and work for them in the second half, or do they start thinking about, well, you know, do we start taking control, but of our play, don't make mistakes in our own area of the field?
Well, here's Phillips, a difficult conversion attempt. Struck it pretty well. Will it have the legs? No. Well, he was on line, just didn't have the distance, though. So they still haven't kicked a goal today, Manly, but they're in front, 16 points to 12.
It's Illawarra haven't had all that good a record here, but their only victory here against Manly way back in 1992, that victory denied the Sea Eagles a place in the semi-finals. So I think the Manly players realise the importance of this one.
So it's Manly through Colella. Anthony will play it on the 20-metre mark. Lyons. Sidaris. Well, he's very experienced, Jimmy Sidaris, and he's put his hand up out there today again for the Manly Sea Eagles. His 185th first-grade game. This is Peters. On the final tackle. Through the hands they go. Lyons, they're going to run it out wide as Terry Hill. Got the ball back. That's Alf Duncan. He's been trapped.
That's a poor choice, that one. They had the opportunity to put in a very good long kick and chase.
It's creeping up that completion rate now, Wally, but still less than 50% for Manly. I mean, as you say, now they've got to get their fifth tackle options right.
Cram plays it. Barrett, the inside pass to Mackay. It's a player like Trent Barrett that could turn things around again for Illawarra. Pretty well bottled up so far. Maybe he should start running the football. 22 metres out. Robinson. This is Barrett, throws a dummy. Inside pass pattern, almost through. Peters got there and saved the day for Manly. Final tackle coming up. There's the kick from Barrett. And in goal. Oh, has he got the legs to get away? Sucking in the air is Alf Duncan. They're coming at him. They're not going to catch him. From one end of the field to the other. Runaway try to Alf Duncan. He's got a double. And Manly stretch the lead. They hit 20. 20 points to 12. Duncan couldn't believe his luck. The whole field opened up for the youngster. And he was away.
Well, how many times do these things come along in football games? Cliffy Lyons, I think, made the dive for the ball, didn't come up with it. And Duncan, he started putting the long ones in. Look at this. Where's the support? He was saying, surely I can't go that far. Looked around and had to think, well, maybe I can. Dean Callaway's the guy that's chasing me. He's a hooker. I'm not supposed to get caught by them. Craig Simon, the only other one that was in Cooey, he wasn't going to come there either. A 100-metre try. That really is something that's going to take a lot of oxygen out of the Illawarra tank.
Cliffy did a great job, didn't he? Then just took the pace off that ball for Alfie Duncan. But as you say, how much against the run of play would that try be called? Plenty of yards to go yet too. Young Simon did a good job getting from that other side to cut him down, but certainly was no pace in the end for him.
A double for Duncan. 20 points to 12. So that is now 4 tries in the second half to Manly. Illawarra haven't been able to score a point in the second half.
Well, this is strange. He's just run 100 metres for a try and they've handed him a ball to try and kick the goal.
If we say
turn it up, you'll be wondering whether the legs can make it.
I think they like him, do they?
I don't think they'll be able to make it up with a football, let alone kick it.
Duncan. He adds the extra 2.
Well, that's the best of the day, Wally.
22 points to 12. Their first conversion of the day. 5 tries to 2. And the lead now 10 points to the Sea Eagles. They're running right at the moment. And 8 tries in 98. Manly, if they can go on and pick up the 2 points, they'll move to 16 points. Just a couple out of the 10. Illawarra are on 19 points at the moment in 9th spot.
So now it is Illawarra. Manly could not control the football from the restart. They need to hit back now, the Steelers. Still plenty of time on the clock. They can't afford this Manly machine to keep going the way they've been going in the second half. This is Hart. 20 metres out as Callaway waits for it at dummy half. They get a penalty. Barrett. They go wide. He picks up Timmins, and Sean Timmins beat 1 or 2 tackles. Phillips was there to shut him down in the end. Only about 5 or 6 metres out. It's Barrett. Gives it to Mackay. Mackay hands it over to Hart. Andrew Hart. It's been knocked down by Manly. Knocked back, and they've picked it up, so it's play on. Hopewadi.
Greg, that was great work from Cliffy Lyons there, wrestling with the front row forward and eventually got the hand in the way and pulled it back, probably to save a very. Watch him now. One-on-one. Great work on him. Just knocked the pass down to come back for Hopewadi. Cleaned up very, very well.
So Manly through Sidaris. Running out of their danger area. They're about 25 out from their own line. Kalala runs into 3 Steelers defenders. Field looking for a long kick over the head of Wishart and into touch on the 20. That's where the scrum will pack down.
Was that a 40-20 then, Greg, or not?
No, it's finished just short. Really interesting to see whether he took the kick from. Maybe a little bit of fortune going the way of the Steelers. Finally, it's managed to sit squarely on the shoulders of the home side, but
just inside it.
Yeah, wouldn't have got it anyway. That's probably why he asked for the bounce to come this way.
Just close on it, wasn't it?
Yeah. We've got to remember what Greg mentioned just a few moments ago. There's still plenty of time left. 15 minutes to go in the game. You can win 2 football games in that time.
Now it's Wishart. And Illawarra need a good set of 6 here. Good ball control. Need to get their rhythm going again after they dominated the first half. They led 12-4 at the break, the Steelers, but now it's the Sea Eagles leading 22 points to 12. Purcell. Taken ball and all by Terry Hill. Gartner over there to assist. Robinson. Fires it out to Patton up from fullback. Lyons and Tuvey read that pretty well. Final tackle coming up. Well, that's sloppy play by Illawarra.
I think it was a mousetrap that went wrong.
Whatever happened, Manly have it in very good field position now. 32 metres out. This is Sidaris. You'll find Menzies will be out in the centres, looking to run off Cliff Lyons again, but it won't happen this set of 6 because they've coughed it up, Manly. Illawarra have it.
Look at that, Greg. 15-8 there as Manly against Illawarra. 2-1.
And yet Manly still have it on the scoreboard at the moment. Wilson. This is better. Wilson. He leaves it behind, though. Cliffy Lyons picks up. Kosef. Menzies. Straight ahead goes Menzies. One of the try scorers for Manly. Now it's Kosef. Tuvey having a run on his own inside Steelers territory now. So Kalala gets a breather for Manly, and Sidaris is still going forward. Phillips just nudging it down into the corner, and Wishart leaves it behind in goal. He cleans up. So we'll have a goalmouth dropout again. A little heart in the mouth stuff that from Rod Wishart.
Yeah, Rod deciding to go down and slide into the ball. He wasn't quite on the floor when he made the attempt. Offering Manly another chance to post points. Scored 18 points in around about a 13-minute period just prior to this. And I don't think that they're happy yet. They want some more.
Here's Gartner after a good pickup, good half volley.
So we'll look at the field position now for Manly. 30 metres out. Hopoate. Tuvey to field. Lines back on the inside. Kosef taken by Craig Wilson right in front of the uprights. Tuvey. Cliffy Lyons working to the right. Lyons holding up. They're going to call it back for a Shepherd. The penalty to Illawarra.
It's a tough decision to make, this one, for the referee, because you've got to ask whether the defender was actually impeded on that occasion. It did look like Brad Mackay was clearly bounced backward from the defender, from the decoy runner. But the referee got that one pretty much right. Not too much complaining going on from Manly.
Coming up to the 70th minute at Brookvale. This is Wilson throwing the dummy. I didn't fall for it, Manly, though. Barrett. Patton out of one, the fullback. Tuvey got him from behind. Barrett and Timmins. Sean Timmins straight through. Last line brought him down. A try-saving tackle. Now it's Barrett. Fitzgibbon. And it's been intercepted by Jeff Tuvey. Like a thief in the night, Tuvey was there to snatch it.
Manly getting the opportunity to bring the ball away from their own line. Gee, mate, I've got to say, that's Sean Timmins. He's been electric every time he's touched the football this afternoon.
So Hopoate will play it. 21 out from the Manly line. Hancock started at fullback, now on the left wing. Menzies. Final tackle coming up as Field is a dummy half. To the short side they go. Field gets the kick in. Looking for touch. Wanting to give his forward pack a bit of a breather. They can't shut up shop yet. But they do lead by 10 with 10 or 9 minutes to go now.
That's a great option from Field, wasn't it? Kick out a dummy half. Then Wally, he started to take control now. Just giving some direction around the park.
I think that's pretty much a story of what we're seeing too. The Illawarra guys are just exhausted. Played most of this second half in their own territory and had the football. They had prime examples to score tries.
The Steelers. They're in a slightly better position than Manly. They can probably afford to drop this one and still be in with the show of scraping into the semi-finals. But really, if you're going to be a threat in the semis, you've really got to be winning football games. They're doing it tough without Paul McGregor, their captain, out there today. Lamey. Good tackle by Kosef, and also in there was Peters. Barrett. Kellaway dummy half. This is Purcell. Got away from Tuvey. It was good pressure by Tuvey. Hancock picks it up. Taken by Laney and also Purcell. So that's the Manly 20. Lines to Terry Hill. Back on the inside, the nobody. Hill had to go back and clean up. Knock back, play on. They lost some ground. Sedaris is a dummy half. Now it's Kosef. Yeah, lack of communication here. Cliffy passing to nobody. Patton. Field chasing. Good tackle by Craig Field around the bootlaces. The penalty goes to Illawarra. Craig Simon out to Hart. Now it's Callaway. Callaway thought he spotted a gap. It soon closed, though. Good tackle by Phillips. Simon to Barrett. Barrett, they go wide. Timmins getting very close. Desperate defence by Manly. They pull him up only about a metre out. Simon looking for the gap. Got it back to Callaway. They've got some numbers out here, but the pass was a shocker. It's been cleaned up by Hart. Callaway waiting for it. Here's Barrett. Barrett, the playmaker, gives it to Simon. Manly, desperate defence out there by the Sea Eagles at the moment. Final tackle coming up. Illawarra desperate for a try here. There's the grubber kick into the in goal. They're diving, and it's going to be Manly who win the race. It was Luke Phillips, but Illawarra will get another set of 6.
Pretty good work from the Steelers there. They worked from side to side, tried to find any chinks in the Manly armour. They didn't provide. Oh, gee, he just got there at the end too. Some pretty good work from Fitzgibbon to get there. He was the only chaser. I've got to pay credit to him. But I think you need around about 6 minutes if you're going to post 2 tries.
Well, this is Purcell. Out to Hart. Illawarra have a tough run home. They have North, Newcastle, Sydney City, Cronulla and Canterbury. No disrespect to Manly's opposition, but I think it's fair to say Manly have the easier run home. The Gold Coast, Balmain, Adelaide, North Queensland and Auckland. There's a forward pass, so Illawarra come up with another mistake. Time well and truly running out for them now.
No arguing over the forward pass there. I think it's a case now that they're probably looking to, grasping at straws. Illawarra trying to look for that line ball that's going to get them, because Manly's defence really does look to have settled a lot more in the last 15 minutes.
And Cliffy Lyons, 25 out. So plenty of match time today, Cliffy. You'll be enjoying that. So more time in the football park in first grade than probably anybody. 306th first grade game. Stephen Menzies. That's the halfway mark, and they're allowed to offload, and here goes Menzies. Menzies full back to beat, looking for support, standing there. It goes to Field. Field has Phillips. Luke Phillips put the foot on the gas. The gap soon closed, though. Fitzgibbon came across. Now it's Field. Field into the air, kicking to the corner. Pressure over on the far side for Illawarra, but Clifford comes up with it.
Gee, that's a brave jump and catch. He's under a fair bit of pressure. Manly really are hot. Every time that Menzies touches the ball at the moment, he seems like he's splitting them. Maybe a little bit of poor support play. The reason they didn't post another 4-pointer.
Barrett still trying, the Steelers. The inside pass to Wishart. Taken ball and all, though. Albert Torrens, the tackler. This is Barrett. Again, Torrens doing the tackling. Callaway at dummy half. Kick over the top by the hooker. It's play on. Manly a little lethargic getting back there. The bounce is going to be good for Hopewadi. So they clean it up, Manly. They'll be happy to play out this set of 6 just to eat up some time. 22 points to 12. Manly over Illawarra. Lyons at dummy half. Oh, that's the mousetrap that's gone wrong again. So Illawarra, they might have the final say here. But Manly keep their hopes alive in 1998. An electrifying second half burst that saw them score 4 tries. And Illawarra haven't been able to score a point in the second half after they led 12-4 at half-time. But it's Illawarra now looking for that consolation second half try. They're 10 metres out. Kellaway plays it back to Lamey. Timmins, Craig Simon. This is Barrett. Barrett turns it back to Hart.
Lead him there, lead him.
In fact, it was in Hart. Number 11 was Wilson. And Wilson is a dummy half. Barrett. Mackay still trying right in front of the uprights. Final tackle coming up. And time almost up on the clock. Now it's Barrett. The pass inside to Timmins. Timmins over the top. Wilson back inside. Wishart's left it behind, but Mackay has it. Did he get it down? Well, that's desperate defence by Manly. They have managed somehow to hold them out. Nearly full time here. Gutsy defence there by Manly. Illawarra threw everything at them on that occasion, but still came up empty-handed. So they're counting down the seconds here at Brookvale. Manly knowing that they had to win this one to keep their slim hopes alive of reaching the semi-finals. They've done it. 4 tries to none in the second half. That told the story. In the end, Manly, the Sea Eagles, too good for Illawarra. 22 points to 12. Some good performances out there, especially in the second half by Manly. But Wally, that looked like the Manly of old in that period in the second half when they ran in the 4 tries.
It did too, and whilst they were running in those tries, they also got a bit of pride back in their defence. But there was a couple of real good clashes out there this afternoon. The one between Terry Hill and Sean Timmins, that was great all day long. Timmins was electrifying in attack. Terry was a little bit slow. That knee, I think, still a little bit wobbly, but his defence is magnificent. But the attack, when they came back with it, when they start throwing it around over their head, between their legs, anything, and they start catching it, that's when you start worrying about Manly coming into form.
And Illawarra, without McGregor, they were always going to do it pretty tough. It looked like they were going to be okay in the first half, though, but they were pretty tight in the end.
A good start for them in that second half, though. It was very difficult to expect that they'd come back into the game. They struggled for quite some period of time, mainly because that they were battling to hold Manly out, and once they did get possession, they were getting into the pretty ordinary area of the football field and finding themselves with the harsh task of running it away from their own goal line area, then kick and chase. That's too tough when you're playing against Manly and the confidence that they've got on board.
Yes, well, Manly next week come up against the Gold Coast. That's at Carrara. Illawarra are home. They take on North Sydney, who are in pretty good form at the moment, North Sydney. Tough road ahead for the Illawarra Steelers, but Manly, as I said, they keep their hopes alive. They keep their fans happy for the time being. Some very good performances out there today. So let's go sideline to Peter Mulholland. He is with our NEC man of the match.
Well, with me, boys, is Steve Menzies. Congratulations on a great second half performance, but an all-round one from yourself.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't too bad. We know there's only 6 games to go, and we have to win all, to get a chance in the 10. And the first half was a little bit disappointing with our ball control, but everyone really come together in that last 40. It was a good effort by everyone.
Positional changes early on, did that contribute a little bit to the unsettled part of it?
Oh, no, it wasn't too bad. You know, we trained pretty good during the week, and we knew what we were going to do. Just a little bit sort of discipline, I suppose. You know, just that ball control in the first half, but otherwise we're very happy.
Your own game with Cliffy Lyons has come back together at the right end of the season.
Yeah, you know, it's good to see Cliffy get a few minutes and run off in there. But I thought Fields did really well. You know, his kicking game was excellent, and that sort of set us up for the platform.
Steve, relatively, well, not relatively, but as it looks a lot easier run that you guys have got home into this one. I know it's week to week, but next week's another big match for you. Every week is. Yeah,
you know, the competition, I suppose, this year is very close. You know, every side there's upsets every week. You know, and we really got to go at 100% against all the teams, and hopefully we can win the last 5.
Congratulations, and from NEC, you were Man of the Match award.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the NEC for the award. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen. Back to you, boys.
Yeah, it was well played by Stephen Menzies. He was electrifying at times in that second half, and it was great to see him running off the veteran Cliffy Lyons. Reaction after this 10-point victory by Manly, and the captain of the Sea Eagles is with Pete Mulholland.
Well, Jeff, it was a great second half performance from Manly.
Yeah, it was a pretty ordinary first half. Our ball control really let us down. Not the greatest conditions here today, but still no excuses. In the second half, you know, we improved on it.
Jeff, the last 4 weeks with a hiccup last week against Melbourne, but starting to turn it around this season.
Yeah, it's been the story this year so far. We've been hot and cold in patches. Unfortunately for us, it's been the minority of the match. We've been playing well, and the majority of it we've been playing fairly poorly. So, you know, if we can get some good performances for a sustained period of time like we did in the second half today, you know, we'll go a long way to getting into that top 10.
Yeah, I was just saying to Steve Menzies, it's a week-to-week proposition, but I mean, your run looks fairly good.
Yeah, well, you know, no game's easy these days, and you know, we're probably a bit unfortunate with a few games earlier in the year, but that's the way it goes, and we have to win, I think, just about all of them, or if we can probably drop one, but then we'd be in the hands of the gods, you know, to make the top 10, and we don't want to do that.
Mighty midgets, Kalella and Sedaris, a great effort today.
Yeah, they played well, as I said. Pretty disappointing the first half from everyone, but picked it up in the second half, and that's what made us win today.
Well done, Jeff. Thanks very much.
5 tries to 2 in the end, 22 points to 12 full time for Manly. A try to Hancock, Hopewadi, Menzies, Alf Duncan got a double, and just one successful conversion attempt. That was Alf Duncan, who actually ran 100 metres to score the try, then had to turn around and kick the goal. And for Patton, it was, or for Illawarra, Patton scored 1 try in the first half along with Craig Simon. Wishart 1 from 1, Craig Fitzgibbon 1 from 1.
Bobby, to coin a phrase, a game of 2 halves for Manly.
Yeah, it was. I thought we were pretty ordinary in the first 25 minutes, and that's when they got their 12 points, and they didn't score from that point on, which is a credit to our blokes. We knew we had to pull something out. I mean, we were playing, as I said, very, very ordinary. Our ball control was marginal, and they put a lot of pressure on us because of the amount of possession that they had. But, you know, credit to our blokes. We really kicked in the second half. We controlled the football. Our defence became stronger. We were getting off the line and we were bustling. They came up with more mistakes than what we did. And we scored accordingly. I think 5 tries to 2 was, in the wash-up, a fair indication of the difference.
Yeah, once you controlled the ball the second half, that positional changes you made before the match really came to the fore.
Yeah, I thought that we had to, you know, inject Clifford and, you know, a couple of other changes, and, you know, I guess that, you know, when you make those changes, you've got to have, you know, you've got to have confidence in yourself, I guess, in making them, and, you know, I was confident that Clifford would do the job. I mean, he hasn't had a lot of football lately, but, you know, his injection obviously, you know, helped some of the outside players, and also we got a bit of possession, which also aided and abetted the cause.
Yeah, Field, once you got control of the ball too, Field's kicking game sort of kept you going that second half.
Yeah, and the chase was good, and we got, you know, we got some backup sets on them, and what we did in the second half, they did was in the first.
Bob, the little fella, Sedaris, Kalella, just kept you going forward?
Yeah, you know, 90-kilo blokes, but in those types of conditions with Jeff at dummy half is always a threat, and those blokes who keep their legs going, they're hard to handle in those types of conditions, and as I said to them at half-time, all we've got to do is control the ball and we'll win this. It's
a week-to-week proposition, but you were just saying before, you play like that every second half, you're halfway there?
Well, given the way the Steelers have been playing, I think they've won something like 6 out of 7 or 7 out of 8 or something like that, and I thought their performance last week against Brisbane, I thought they were a bit unlucky, but you know, we've come up and played well against a side that I rate 5 tries to 2, and you know, it's a credit to our guys.
Thanks for your time, Bobby.
Cheers, Pete.
Okay, I think he was pretty happy with that, especially the second half, and let's have a look at these statistics, and this will tell the story of the full 80 minutes for Manly. 18 out of 34. It was a lot lower than that, the completion rate earlier on.
It looked very ordinary for them at the half-time break, and one that was going to be a little bit disappointing for them if they continued on that trend. Illawarra's, I think, improved a little bit, and we may not be paying them fair credit. I think that the opportunities that they had late in the game probably didn't provide them with all that much chance of being able to do it. Possession probably worked out well in Manly's favour, and that's why they won the game.
Okay, for your help today, along with Peter Mulholland, and thank you for your company. I'm Greg Clark. For now, it's goodbye from Brookvale Oval.